Ruslan, Gine Rinehart's written that people who want to make a fortune need to stop drinking, smoking and socialising and start working if they want to make a fortune. Is this what you did?
Yeah, look, I've just read a few of her comments and I agree with some of the stuff she said, but that I certainly don't agree with. It's not what I've been doing anyway. I'm 29 years old and I do all of those things quite a bit. I'm actually doing this interview from Las Vegas as we speak, so it's the world capital of all those things. So, look, it's probably sound life advice for a lot of people, but it's not how I've been doing it.
Now, Ruslan, people might be listening and thinking, if he's able to be in Las Vegas and he's still a millionaire, he must have inherited his fortune. But that's definitely not the case for you, is it?
Oh, my parents arrived in Australia in 1989 with $90 in their pocket. And I grew up in the Housing Commission flats in Elstonwick in Melbourne and certainly, didn't inherit anything. From a young age, I'd be in the supermarket and always wanting, some candy or footy cards, and the answer was always, no, we can't afford it. And I grew up watching my parents work 3 jobs each, and I learned from a very young age that if I wanted to, get things and have things, and if I wanted to achieve something, I'm going to have to do it myself.
And so if you're socialising and you're smoking and you're drinking, but you've also managed to make a fortune, how did you do it?
Well, look, I've always been into business, and the way that I look at entrepreneurs and businessmen is people looking at society, looking at the way things work, and constantly trying to create something better, thinking of how can we innovate in this marketplace and, make this product or service better for the consumer? How can we improve the consumer's life? And, I've been like that from a very young age. I, started my first business at around the age of 10, going and picking up golf balls, washing them and then reselling them. So I've always been pretty business savvy, but along with that comes, a lot of hard work. I work more now than I ever did. There's this misconception out there that, people who run their own business, they don't report to anyone, they get to work as little as they like. But ever since I quit my job in the corporate world, I've worked, over 100 hours a week in a lot of cases and worked longer hours than I ever have. And I've gone from reporting to one single manager to now reporting to over 80 million people in Australia and the UK. So, it's definitely not the case that once you start a business, you're on easy street.
Ruslan, I'm fascinated by, people who make a lot of money and your wealth is estimated in BRW at least as being around $62 million. I'm not sure if that's accurate, and perhaps you can tell me if that is accurate. But even if it's just in that kind of vicinity, why do you keep working if you've made enough money to be able to retire and live a really comfortable life for the rest of your life?
Yeah, look, my grandmother doesn't think the number from BRW is accurate at all. She keeps telling me that I'm priceless. So I'd like to go with my grandmother's valuation. But I think one thing that a lot of people get wrong is that a lot of entrepreneurs and businessmen are in it for the money. The thing that gets me out of bed in the morning is the challenge. We're operating Kogan in a marketplace that's constantly changing and we're innovating new things. And it's that challenge that gets me out of bed in the morning. If I was, coming to work every day because of the money, I would have stopped coming into work a long time ago. To me, the money isn't about what you can buy. It's about what you have achieved. And, that's what keeps driving me. It's the challenge of business, the challenge of finding new and better ways to deliver better things to your customers, and the competition. It's like a sport. It's the same as asking a tennis player why they're still playing tennis after they're ranked number 1 in the world. Or why did Michael Phelps go to the Olympics again after winning 8 gold medals at the last one? So it's more about the achievement in the creative space and the challenge of seeing what the next best thing you can deliver for your customers is.
Are you trying to prove something to yourself, or are you trying to prove something to other people?
To myself. I'm trying to prove things to myself all the time, To me, life is all about achieving happiness, and to me, the things that make me happy is innovation and creating new and better things. Our business at Kogan is completely different today to what it was a year ago. We're not resting on our laurels. We know that in order to stay competitive, in order to keep delivering value to your customers, you must always change. And because of that, we have managed to build an amazing team with great ideas flying around all the time. And that's the stuff that, I'm proving to myself that we're saying, well, yeah, look, I don't think that the way we're doing it at the moment is perfect. I think there's always a better way. And each day I come into work, I prove to myself that there is a better way. And I've got a massive team of people who love what they're doing, who love making a difference. And they're also proving to themselves that innovation is an ongoing cycle.
Ruslan, how has having vast amounts of money changed your life?
Look, it hasn't changed it significantly at all. The things that make me happy and the things that I enjoy doing have remained pretty constant. Like, I still think one of the best meals in the world is going to McDonald's at 4 a.m. after a massive night out. You know, there's nothing like a Big Mac meal at 4 a.m. My friends haven't changed. We still do the same things. We still go fishing, still go camping. There haven't been too many changes. Yes, I travel a lot more now, and I've got business meetings all over the world, and I get to see a lot of cities, and I love the travel side of things. But that's probably the biggest change that there's been in my life, apart from also working a lot more now than I ever did.
With having a fortune that you could retire on now, but having to have worked so hard, and you mentioned that you work over 100 hours a week in some cases to try to do all the work that you've got to do. Do you think that would you call yourself a happy person?
Yeah, look, I think I'm pretty happy. I've got a lot of things going pretty well for myself, but you can always be happier. We're always looking to, both on a business front and a personal front, I'm always trying to look after my family as much as I can, try and make it to Mum's place for dinner as often as I can, spend as much time with my family as possible and help them, and, their happiness plays a big role in my happiness. But, on a business front, you could, I don't think it's just it's a black and white yes or no. Like, yeah, I'm very happy with what we have achieved, but I think we're still at the very start of what's possible, and we're working very, very hard every day to improve those things.
And you mentioned that you don't think you've changed very much since you've started your businesses and with all the amazing work that you've done. But have other people changed in the way that they view you? And how do you cope with that when people do see you differently because of the money you have? Yeah,
look, from the other perspective that you just described, yes, it definitely has changed. I'll walk into a club and I'll have someone come up to me and ask me if they can take a photo with me. And, my friends have a bit of a giggle at it because they're like, yeah, that's just the guy we're hanging out with all the time. And, things like that have changed, and I get recognized a lot more, and people always are coming to me and asking me business questions and for ideas and things like that. So that element's changed. And look, I like it. I like being respected in the business world, and the fact that a lot of potential entrepreneurs and the younger generation of business people are constantly contacting me and asking me to share their story with me. Just even the other day I got an email. Someone said they heard me speak at a convention and it gave them the courage to go on with their business, and they sent me a link to their business that they've now launched, and that made me very happy. But to the people that are close to me, they haven't changed towards me at all. I've got a pretty close-knit circle of friends and family, and they really like what I've achieved, and they're very proud. But their behaviour towards me or how they treat me or anything like that hasn't changed.
Ruslan, as you said, you're only 29, so you've got such a long career ahead of you. Do you think that you'll stay in the same business and as part of that keep amassing a fortune, or do you think that you might go off in another direction at some point?
Yeah, look, it's so hard to predict the future. Like, if you came to me 6 years ago and said, what would I be doing today? There's no chance I'd be able to tell you that, Kogan is as massive as it is now. I love the business that we're in. I love technology. I think technology makes the world a better place, and our appetite for technology is only going to keep increasing and increasing because it improves our lives. It makes us more efficient. It enables us to communicate. And in a lot of cases, the awesomeness of technology has, upturned dictators in some places around the world. So what it can achieve on a social level and an education level and a political level is amazing. So I can't see myself doing anything else. I think I'm in an awesome industry. So if we can play a part in making technology more affordable, then that means that on a social level we're achieving great things, and that's all I can think about at the moment. So, I can't predict the future, but I can't see myself doing anything else.
You didn't confirm or deny the figures which were listed in BRW, but if you did have I'm pretty sure you don't have a fortune which rivals Gine Rinehart's yet, at least. If you were earning the same amount of money as her, or worth the same amount of money as her, which is several $1 billion, do you think anything would change in the way that you're going about your business, that you would possibly retire or give money away, or do something differently that you're not doing at the moment?
Yeah, look, giving money away is something that I'm doing a lot at the moment, and there's a lot of causes that I like supporting, and it makes me happy to support those causes. So it all falls back in line with, it's all about personal happiness, and there's a lot of charities out there doing amazing work that I love supporting. Would it make me retire? Absolutely not. I could retire now if I wanted, and I wouldn't have to work anymore, and my kids wouldn't have to work when I have some, and my grandkids wouldn't have to work either. But like I said before, that's not what it's about. It's about the challenge. It's about the achievement. It's about, creating something in the world and, making the world a better place for a lot of people. If you look at, the best entrepreneurs from around the world and the best business people, the people that employ hundreds of thousands of people, they're still going after earning billions and billions of dollars, and they're launching new businesses and they're launching new ventures, and they're still working at the age of 80. So, like I said before, it's, the money's just a number that represents what you have achieved. It's not about what you can buy. If it was about what you can buy, then you'd see all the billionaires around the world retiring immediately. But they've obviously all started with very little or nothing as well. And for them, it's all about the challenge, the competition, how to create, how to innovate, how to make the world a better place. And they're the same factors that drive me.
A lot of people have this idea in their head, I want to be a millionaire by the age of whatever. They have a certain amount of money that they want to earn by a particular point in their life. Was that ever something that you thought about when you were setting up your businesses and dreaming about what you wanted to achieve?
No, not at all. When I was setting up Kogan, the only thing on my mind was the fact that everyone I shared the idea with said, no way, that'll never work. No one will ever buy TVs online. So I ran through the whole business in my head and I said, no, this could work. Online's going to get bigger and bigger and people are going to make more purchases online, and it's a perfect product for the online market. So all that was on my mind at that stage is proving that the concept works. So, I took a lot of risks. I quit my job that was paying pretty well at Accenture in the corporate world. I got heaps of credit cards, took out full cash advances on the credit cards, borrowed money from friends. I took a lot of risks and had a lot on the line purely to prove that this concept will work. The making money side of things isn't something that comes into your mind at that stage. You know that if you've come up with a great idea that adds a lot of value to consumers, that makes the world a better place, that the profit will come, that it's all about executing the idea and turning it into reality. That's the hard bit. Once you do that, yes, if your business is improving a lot of lives and, embracing a certain way of life, then yes, a business will make money because, we've got heaps of employees who need to put food on the table. We've got rent to pay. We've got bills to pay. Every single Kogan TV that gets delivered would involve about 1,000 people from start to finish. So you need to support all of that and make it happen. But, yeah, the main driver and motivation from the beginning was not to make money.